Hello. This is a little mid-month energetic support. It also feels good to touch back here. I haven't been connecting online as much. Hi, two of my favorite gals are here. Yeah, I haven't been as much connecting online this summer, and I've just had to trust that. But I feel it feels good to come back here. This is like a mid-month sort of energetic experience. We're gonna sort of talk about what the Akashic theme of this month has been, and then the next level of that thing. Hello, make that three. Wait, who else is here? You'll have to tell me. Oh, Polly. Is Polly here? We're gonna check in. Thank you. I've been ill for the last few days, but it felt like a reset. And I don't know, that's what I'm really feeling also when I tune in. What I'm really hearing is this is a moment where a lot of us need to fill our cup. And so we need to empty what's full and fill what's empty. And I think I was sick for the last few days because I think there was a place where I needed to reset and empty what was full. And I can feel where this has been a really raw month. And the energy of this month has required a lot of courage for many people to even just see and experience what's happening in our world. And also we're at a halfway point of the year that's a year about endings. And if I was just thinking about the Akashic theme of this year, this is the year of the earth. And that this year very much is about the rhythms of nature. I'm here with two of my friends who are so deeply connected to that and to working with the rhythms of nature in their work. And I was thinking about one of the things the Akashic Records had said to me at the start of the year, which is this is a year where we're going to see Earth's plan for us and realize Earth has a plan for us. It's not always about our plan for Earth. And, this has just been a time that's rocked a lot of us. And a time that we've had to listen to nature differently. So just taking a few breaths with that. So yeah, I was thinking about that. So for this year, this year in the Akashic field has been about the year of Earth, but it's also a year that's about endings. It's a 9-year. And we're halfway through, we're in the other half of the year. And so things are picking up speed and decisions and realizations we need to have are coming in loud. And that takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of courage. And so this may be a time to fill your cup. So if coming here and dropping in can feel that way for you, I'd love to have you here. So let's just, I have a little transmission I want to share, but let's just first drop in if you're watching this live or recorded. Just taking a moment to drop the shoulders and relax the belly. And relax the heart. And relax anywhere where you feel like you're white knuckling or anywhere that feels like you're gritting your teeth or clenching, just letting everything go. Even the things you feel like you need to hold on to right now, just relax, letting the body relax. And we'll actually just start with those themes that this is a year about the earth, a year to reconnect to what's natural, what's true, what's organically arising. And remembering that we are part of nature and Earth has a plan for us. It's not just about what we are planning for Earth. And just taking a moment to relax into remembering that there is a natural process to our life, that the feelings and experiences and conflicts and desires you have are natural. And maybe just picturing putting your hands into your favorite sort of natural element, whether that's soil or water or grass or a garden or sand. Just taking a moment, and our hands are often like touching technology, right? So let's just take a moment and just remembering our connection to nature, picturing putting our hands into something natural. And just filling back up with the frequency of nature. Taking a few breaths here and letting that energy come through the hands. And through the arms, and now through the body and the heart. And then letting that energy move out through the feet. And taking a few more breaths like that, just picturing breathing in fresh, clean air, breathing in an ocean breeze, breathing in like the energy of the woods, breathing in that smoky, scent of like a bonfire, whatever really feels like a nourishing, relaxing part of nature, just breathing that in. And just filling your cup just with breath and intention and connection to frequency. Just taking a few more breaths that way. Realizing that nature is here to support our courage. That courage is something we are born with. It is natural. It actually can come naturally to us. It is part of the human experience. We are meant to have experiences that activate our courage. Many of the things that we really love in our life have required courage. Many of the healings and the changes in our life require courage. And so it can come naturally to us, and it can be part of nature. And, it's very courageous to be nature at this time on the planet. It's courageous to be an animal, a wild animal. Like, it requires courage to leave the nest, whatever the nest has been. And so just really breathing in and making that connection with nature and with courage, which is the deep Akashic theme for this month, just bringing that in. And you could even take this moment to ask for the energy of courage to be directed to a part of your life that this half of the year is requiring. So connecting with nature, connecting with courage, this part of the year and this 9-year about completion, about endings, about resolution. We're coming into that second half. And now let's just ask for there to be courage directed to a part of our life that is requiring it. And now feeling the frequency of courage, maybe seeing that as like a color or an element, letting it direct into that part of your life. And relaxing into that, letting the hips relax. And as I'm looking down right now, there's actually a lion sculpture on the floor right by my feet. And it's just reminding me, that we're going to come into Leo season, which I always connect with courage and loyalty and devotion and like the courage to express and to offer the parts of us and the parts of our purpose that require being seen. Yeah, so we're just coming into that part of the month. And then I just want to share another piece that I've noticed really coming in this last week. So with that full moon in Capricorn, and also with the Uranus Gemini, that shift, there's a lot around that about how we take in information and how we communicate. And something I think about is like when I teach people, when I work with people on the Akashic Records who are like really learning how to channel and translate energy, something I think is really important to understand, and this has been like a major theme I'm noticing in the last week, is to understand boundaries. And those of us who are really like connected and like love being connected, I mean, I'm laughing because like boundaries have been such a challenging part of my life, and I haven't always known how to receive and experience and connect and also have boundaries. And something I really like to teach when people are really beginning to work with channeling and with energy is to learn how to have energetic boundaries, right? Like learning about first of all, that when you're in a really expansive place, like things are going to change. Your tolerance and your sensitivities change. You might have emotional and physical and relational things that require attention, and that it's okay to have the boundaries you need. Like it's okay to have boundaries so that there's a space for the healing and the transformation and for creation. We're going to be doing our creation circle next week. And one of the important things when we want to create something is like we have to create a container for that. And that requires some sort of boundary. And so when we're first getting used to being really open and really receptive, it's almost like we don't want to have boundaries. We're like, it's exciting. It can be like exhilarating to start to channel and translate and like have these really far out spiritual experiences. But at a certain point, I always I had to learn this myself, and I like to remind people who are on that journey, who are working with me in that way, like you're allowed to ask to receive this in the way that works for you. Like we're not here to be so taken out by spiritual experiences that we can't function and we can't participate in these other three-dimensional ways. Like sometimes we need to get really clear and really directive with how we want to experience and take in information. And we have to really look at where we're being surrendered and we're accepting what we're going through, and where we're just actually becoming submissive and having a lack of boundary. So that's something I was thinking about, and I was like really feeling that message last week. And then like every client I worked with had a story about like recognizing not realizing they needed a boundary until they suddenly had allowed access to a person or a situation that really didn't work for them. And everyone I'm working with right now are working on expansion. Like there are people who are working with me around creating and offering like their great Aquarian age offer, which is something I've been working on all year with people, because I think we're in this amazing time in this new Aquarian age where we're taking what we've been culminating for many years and bringing it into like a gift for this timeline, and then receiving the gift we receive when we share our Aquarian gift. And so when we're expanding in that way, we start to come up against our edges, and we can start to realize like, wait a minute, this actually doesn't work for me anymore, or I've been so open and so connected. And I think there's a way, especially with the technology that we are all working with and using right now, yes, there's a way that maybe we've been disconnected. Some people feel disconnected, but there's a way we are so open and so connected to so much information and so much energy. And there can be a way where we are creating intimacy without actually understanding what we're intimate with yet, that we can suddenly realize, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't work for me. And so that's something I've really been hearing about and noticing in the last week, and I really feel like, yes, we need to create boundaries with other people, or with practices, or maybe with certain substances, or things like that. But the other thing I've really been feeling is like, sometimes we need to just create boundaries with the energy itself and with ourself, right? And that feels like the moment we're in, and it's courageous to set boundaries. It's courageous to have the conversations that we might need to have. And it's also courageous to ask to be supported by energy and by life, and yet still have boundaries about how we want that happening and how we want that coming in. Like one of the things I've been hearing from people who I'm working with who have been like, in one case I'm thinking of someone who's like, has this huge business, and for what he's working on, like the nature of the business, it has to have totally different boundaries. And like for someone else, it's like, right, like they're working on a new way of relating with people, and there's this fear, like, if I have the boundaries I need, will this still work? Where are we not having the boundaries we really need now that we're on a new level of expansion? And there can be that fear, like, what if people stop coming, with these new boundaries? What if like the relationship doesn't work? And I think when we can feel that, hey, this energy is very intense, and I need to set boundaries with like how I'm experiencing it, or maybe even with ourselves setting boundaries, that can take courage too, to trust that boundaries can actually amplify and support the creation rather than infringe on it or impede it or cause rejection. So that's the other piece of the transmission, and I just want to invite you to like drop back in here. And it's like, on one hand I could say, okay, feel into your life, feel into where we are. Where do you need boundaries? With other people, with what we're consuming and receiving energetically through media and just through the intensity of these times, right? So there may be something for you there. But what I'm also really feeling here is like, where do I need to connect with my own heart and myself? And where do I need to ask for new boundaries with myself and my own practices? What it feels like right now is it's really less about the external world and more about getting into individual relationship. And I think many of us have just sort of stopped recognizing when our boundaries are crossed, because we're living in a bit of a boundaryless time. And the lesson from nature, and the lessons I'm seeing play out for myself and people I know, is like, oh, like there actually needs to be a boundary here in the physical plane, right? In nature, and also like in our lives, like, oh, wait, this is boundaryless. There needs to be a boundary here. And so, we're just going to drop into energy around that for a few minutes. So just letting yourself drop in and just beginning to feel a beautiful, energetic, golden, sparkling boundary around you and your body for right now. With each breath, just feeling yourself be totally held. And as you're really here, dropped in, relaxed, completely relaxed inside of this space where you can exhale. And I'm thinking of, shout out to Haley Marino. I saw something she posted where it was like, boundaries are not even something you set. They're just like something true that's revealed. So in this space where you're just kind of relaxing, you're in whatever boundary you needed is all around you right now. Just relaxing into that. And letting yourself feel the boundary through answering this question, What is my heart's greatest priority right now? And when you feel that, just picturing like you're holding the priority, even if it's a concept, we're working with it energetically. So you're holding the priority. And then just feeling as you're holding the priority, maybe even putting it to your heart, how will I protect this priority? How will I honor it? And just and then beginning to feel the energy of that surrounding you. And then as you feel what the priority is, your heart's greatest priority at this time, as you feel the protective energy, boundary that's required for that, maybe feeling that word rise up, like a word that helps you understand what that is. Now that we have that, I want you to feel the way there's like openness, right? Like it's actually not about being closed. It's about being open to the right things for you right now. And so just beginning to breathe in and beginning to feel like this beautiful openness. The space that you now have. What's being cleared and opened for you. And just feel what you're sensing or seeing, or notice the first word you hear when I say, what am I opening to? And just enjoy what comes in and breathe in here and let yourself receive it. This is my priority. This is how I protect this priority. This is what that opens me to. Just feeling the space and the freedom. And I'm just going to tune in. Is there anything else important? Yeah. There's just a continuing theme I'm feeling for anyone who's here now or is going to watch this later, of just like the way it's coming to me is like you're more dehydrated than you think you are. Like, you know, and maybe that means literally you need more water and more minerals, you know, and more fluids, but it's like you're more dehydrated than you think you are. Being here in this timeline, in this realm, in this courageous year, this year of the earth, this year of endings, this just unbelievably connected to each other and learning what we want to receive and not like what is going on right now and what's being required. Like it's taking more than maybe you're realizing, which is why the boundary thing is getting strong. So it's like it's like make sure you're hydrated, make sure you're nourished. Give yourself permission to want different things and need different things and put yourself in different environments. You know, let yourself be more sensitive at this time. Like, let yourself need what you need at this time. But that's kind of the theme here is like, hey, this is a dehydrating work. Like, this work that we're doing requires a lot. Make sure you're filling your cup. And so you're just going to check in here and it's like, what would hydrate me so that I can stay fluid and, you know, like supple and adaptive and healthy and clear? Like, what is the hydration for me right now? Just let that come in. And then just feel it washing over you. The energy of whatever that is. It might be actual liquid. It might be something else. Let that just sort of wash over you. Knowing that whatever we needed to clear has released. Whatever we've needed to bring in and understand and reveal is with you now. And we send gratitude to the energy, the guides and guardians, the Akasha, the ancestors, the natural elements, the technology that helps us have these experiences together. And just feeling anything else you're feeling grateful for personally in this moment, and letting yourself send out that gratitude. Knowing that the work will continue beyond this time, and we're always connected by heart. And we're just letting that energy experience come to a close. You can always do this again later if you're just joining us now. I'm going to upload this. But feels good to touch in and just connect on the idea of what would nourish us and what sort of boundaries are supportive right now. And just reminding us that it's courageous work to be here right now, and to also be in the second half of such a intense year. And yes, if you'd like to do more experience in groups together, I'm going to be doing a creation circle with the Akashic Records on Thursday night, the 24th. And I'm going to be bringing in a lot of the themes and energies I've been working on with people all year who are in a big creative cycle. And if you can feel there's something you've been really wanting to get out and create and share in this year, this would be a great place to start, to just touch that energy and that experience together. And if you have any questions, you can let me know. But I thank you so much for joining me for that. And I don't know, anything else? Anybody? If not, then we'll talk again soon. But great to see you here. Bye. Lots of love.